Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. Forced out to his left. And incomplete to open things up.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. Always got some breathing room. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Washington now brings this out. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 31, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And out across midfield down to the 45. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 44 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jameis Winston scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Let's get on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, good return up past the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, CD, with receivers, we talk about their speed, great hands. It's tough to quantify elusiveness, but they say he has great elusiveness, and he showed it right there with a run after the catch.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And we see here on the next-gen stats, he was able to take that nearly 60 yards after the catch. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 14-14.
Let's go now.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And some room to roam now. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. And even 100 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. I bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 17-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And it'll be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to have it here as they start at their own 7.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Thomas, the man in motion left. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
The slot man in motion right. Jameis now on first down. This is intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just...
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Lutz for the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. So just 8 kicks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's taken down here by the Saints. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And some space here. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 128 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A big gain of 31 on third down. That seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered him down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Grant Calcaterra, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are able to get a score back in the final stages for this third quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And they're within 7 now at 28-21.
Eagles 21. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd and 12.
Now Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. Touchdown, Saints. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston.
And the Saints use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
What's good on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. from the red zone now. Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Slot man moves right. On 3rd down, Winston. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Hassan Reddick in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Saints have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Lux with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Right on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And this is caught by Watkins. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Boy, another big play late here for offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Winston here to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Again, it's Winston. Got an open man. It's Olave. Touchdown! Chris Olave.